All right, guys, if you are unclear on how to book appointments, I want you to watch this video, all right? Because I've been thinking about what are all the problems that agency owners are facing. The number one problem is that they're unclear on how to book appointments. I was in the same shoes when we were first starting the agency. Before we scaled it, we were always struggling with appointments. And I think a lot of you guys can relate. And if you're unclear, there's the fact that you're unclear. Number two is the fact that your calendar is empty. Number three is that you really want to scale your agency. You really want to get to the revenue goals that you have for your team. But none of that is possible without solving the problem of why you're unclear on booking more appointments and why you can't book more appointments, why you can't have more appointments on your calendar. All right. So when you're in this state, right, there's like this action paralysis where it's like, oh, I don't know how to book appointments, so I'm just not going to book any appointments, right? And it causes us to think more than take action, right? And if there's anything that you guys can take away from this video, it's just don't be in that cycle, right? Because that's one of the most dangerous cycles where you can just start to lose trust, lose faith in yourself, lose confidence in the sales calls. And when you're on these sales calls, because you have so little volume of appointments, you're going into each week, you're going into each sales calls in a scarcity mindset, right? You're scared because you know that this is like your only chance this week, or this is like 1 out of 4 chances that you have this week, or 1 out of 10 chances that you have this week. So when you're unclear, you're stuck in action. And this, for me, when I was in the agency space and growing the agency, I was letting this get to me. And I thought, this is going to solve itself. And I thought one day things are going to get better and we're going to start having more appointments. But those days turned to weeks, weeks turned to months, and months turned into years. And this could continue as long as you let it continue. And so the question is, how do you break out of what feels like a never-ending cycle, right? This never-ending cycle of never being able to book appointments and not booking enough appointments in your agency. Okay, and I broke it down, and I really thought about this problem. Okay, and the real truth is that your agency, you know what has worked in the past. If you're just starting off, maybe this doesn't apply to you, but this is for agency owners that want to scale. They already have an agency and they're just stuck on booking more appointments than they're currently booking. The solution is to backtrack and find out what has worked in the past. What has got you appointments? What has gotten you appointments in the past? And follow that trail back. Look at every little thing that made that work, whether it was paid ads and your cost per lead was way lower than it was now. And look at the messaging, the headline, the offer, the creatives, everything that made that work. Same thing, I'll give you an example. When we did this exercise in the agency, I looked back at what has brought us meetings in the past. And it was cold calls, it was cold email, and it was just outbound messaging. And so I looked at all the campaigns that have produced any sort of meeting. And I backtracked to when we sent the message, to how long it took for them to hop on a meeting. What did I say, right? What did I do? What was the channel? What was the offer that allowed me to get that meeting? And by me going back and looking at, not listening to all these gurus or listening to even me, but looking back in your own agency and finding out, okay, what has worked and doing more of that, right? Whether that's delegating that task or finding a VA or finding somebody else on your team to be able to do that at scale so that you can then, you have a track record, you know it works, it's proven. And so you just need to do more of that and get more people on board to do it with you, right? That's how you're going to be able to duplicate the process and get very, very good at using one method to get more appointments. And so for this to happen, you need to be able to track your numbers, go back, right? A good exercise is go back for the last 6 months and look at all of the appointments that you got in the last 6 months and find out where all the sources came from, okay? And then you're going to have one channel out of the 6 months that got you the best results for the best bang for the buck. It wasn't too costly, and it was high quality leads that were showing up to the sales calls. Okay, and so with that information, you'll be able to find the channel, you'll be able to find the offer, you'll be able to find the things that worked, the variables that worked that made the science test succeed, right? And so that's why I say it's so important to track your channels, track your percentages, your conversions, and backtrack to find what is working, what's scalable, and what can you continue to do more of so that every single day you can book more appointments, and going into the next week, you can have appointments on the schedule. And you don't have to have the scarcity mindset when you're hopping on sales calls thinking that this is the last call, right, for the week. So when you do this, I'm telling you, you'll have a better grip of growing the business, and you'll have a clear mind, and you'll just know what works. Okay, it's not based off of what gurus are telling you. Something that, a lot of you guys don't realize, that if a guru tells you that this is working, yes, try it out for yourself. But the one thing is that you need to have faith in that vehicle, right? It's not just this vehicle that's going to work, whether it's cold emails, cold calls, or anything of that nature. It's you believing that this vehicle is going to work, and therefore, because you believe, your actions are going to align with that, and the action is what's going to get you the result. And if it's already proven, if you already got appointments in the past, that's why I'm saying go back and see what has worked in the past, because you can look at your own results. You can look at your own actions and be able to have more confidence to make that vehicle work. Okay, and so just be logical. I always think about this. I'm like an engineer by heart. Is like grow your business from an engineer perspective. An engineer doesn't feel into, okay, this project is gonna like kind of play out like this. That's like for the creative side of the things, right? With business, just gotta be logical. What worked? What brought in the best results? What was the offer? What was the conversion? What was the math behind this being a scalable marketing method for me to get appointments? And if you think of your business and getting more appointments from the perspective of an engineer, I promise you, you'll be less emotional and you'll be more logical, and therefore you'll be able to get more appointments on your calendar and just go by your numbers. Okay, so that's all for today's video. I hope this helps. This clears up some air if you guys are struggling with appointments. And if you want help with us just showing you the roadmap that we have for agency owners to book more appointments consistently, and you just want to dive deep into us finding out the bottlenecks that is preventing you from getting an extra 10 to 15 appointments a week on your calendar, let me know. Shoot me a DM. I'm more than happy to chat. We can go back and forth and see if we could be a good fit. All right. So happy Friday. Enjoy your day. Peace.